Welcome to today's show. My name is Jesse Malin, and I help you make your best relationship. So in today's episode, I wanted to talk about a subject that might be uncomfortable for a lot of people, but hopefully you find comfort, watching it on YouTube, and you don't have to worry about what other people think, and you shouldn't worry about that anyway. But this episode, I want to talk about lust and the patterns of lust and how it strips away our power, and I want to do so in a way that is different than what is commonly found out there. And so there is no shaming in this video. If you're feeling shamed by some of the things we talk about, just realize there's stuff that you need to work on and that you can become more authentic and be more empowered as your real self. But let's talk about lust. And in talking about lust, I got my iPhone out here, and I have dictionary.com as an app, and this is what it says lust is. Lust is an intense sexual desire or appetite. It's an uncontrolled or illicit sexual desire or appetite, or it's a passionate or overmastering desire or craving. So there's a lot of definitions of lust right there, and we are going to use that moving forward in this episode. And when we talk about like sex, and you think of sex biologically or scientifically, right? A lot of the universities, a lot of the schools and scientists, they all kind of classify sex as a need comparable to eating or drinking or having shelter. But I disagree with that. I don't think sex itself is a need. No, instead, I believe that it's that creative energy, it's expressing that creative energy, that's the need. And sex is just one way to express that creative energy. So no, sex in and of itself is not a need. It's the expressing of our creative energy. That's a need. But in society, we are so injected with sex in all facets or aspects of society. It's everywhere. It's in your social media. It's on the TV. It's in your movies. It's everywhere. So it's hard to go throughout the day without being reminded of something sexually at least once per day. And that right there kind of creates a problem, because now that it's everywhere, it's surrounding us, it is changing what the new norms are. We have the new norms, or we have the norm now that being openly sexual is okay, to do as you desire, whatever you do, everything's love, all these things. And we think that it's okay. We have accepted it. And part of that's good. I think talking about sex and making it not such a woo-woo topic is important. I think keeping it respectful is important. But the biggest thing, I think, is learning to talk about it in correct ways, using correct principles. And I don't think we do that because we always focus sex on being free and doing what you want to do. Where when you're doing that, you actually start to lose your power. And we'll get into that here in just a little bit. So back, though, to lust. Now, lust generally deals with sexual things, but it can also deal with money. It can deal with seeking for validation from outside sources. It could deal with glory or power. All of those things can be lusted after. And so I want to talk to you about how lust is a trap. When we think of lust is a trap, and it reminds me of a hamster wheel. You do all this running, you expend all this energy, but you get nowhere. That is why lust is a trap. It's very contracting in nature. It's kind of like putting blinders on. That's all you can focus on. And I wanted to tell the 3 reasons why lust is such a powerful trap and such a powerful problem, and then how to get out of that. And so we'll get into it. These are the 3 reasons why lust is such a problematic trap in our lives today. The first is that it takes our focus away. The second is it causes us to expend and waste our creative energy. And the third reason, it causes you to think and feel in lower emotions. And so let's talk about those 3 reasons. Reason number 1 why lust is such a problematic trap in our life is because it takes your focus away. You have specific reasons, specific purposes to why you're on this earth right now. And no, I'm not associating with any religion or having any affiliation when I say that with you. But you do have purposes to why you're here. And that should be what your focus is on. But as soon as you start getting into a contracting nature, you start lusting, that takes your focus, your spotlight from your purposes, and it then directs it onto whatever you're addicted to or lusting after. And then because it's there, that becomes your focus. That becomes all you can think about, and it starts to rule over you. And that's a problem. Whenever you get a free minute, that comes to your mind. You start thinking about it. How can you get it? How can you do that? You know, X, Y, and Z type thing. And then eventually, if you keep giving in and keep giving in to this addiction, this lust, it starts to rule over your thoughts when you're working. When you're focusing on tasks at hand, it starts dominating those thoughts and starts to rule over you. And this is the first step in losing your power. Because when you change your focus from what your purpose is and you change it to whatever you're lusting after here, you have given away your power in thought. And then always your thoughts will lead to actions. How you feel will lead to how you act, will lead to the results you get in your life. And that is important. That is how you start to lose your power. Reason number 2, lust causes you to waste your creative energy. So we talked about this a little bit earlier. We each have creative energy. We're all human beings. When we talk in Eastern philosophy, this energy is called chi, or it's called life force, right? And that's a very familiar thing. It runs through the chakras. It empowers us. It helps us to live and do things. It's the life force that allows us to do things, to think and act. In Western thought, we call this energy, yes. We call it electricity. We even call it, sometimes it's classified as cellular ATP. But whatever you want to classify it as, regardless which side you like better, Western versus Eastern thought, you have life force in you, and you get this life force every day. It's flowing in and through you, and it's flowing out of you every day, all day, for your entire life until you die, right? At least as far as the physical body's concerned. And so this life force gives you the ability to think and act. And because it's energy, because you're an electrical being, you are a magnet, like a literal magnet. And we've proven this a lot in Western medicine, that we have magnetism. But because you're a magnet, you attract things to you or you repel things away from you. That's just how it is. And that is conducive to creating the life you want or creating the life you don't want, depending on how you're using that. And so where you spend your currency, your creative energy, where you choose to spend that is going to give you feelings back. That is going to give you experience back. And realistically, all of life is just based on your feelings. What do I mean by that? I mean, like, say you want a nice car, or say you want a nice house. You want that nice car or you want that nice house because you want what that nice car or nice house are going to give to you, what they're going to make you feel like, what you hope to experience. That's what it is. So where you spend your creative energy currency, that is going to enable you to have specific feelings. And if you're spending it and you're wasting it, well, then you're not going to have the feelings and experiences you want to have. It's like, I really want to have this nice, healthy body, but I keep buying donuts and cookies all day and eating them. Like, that's really hard to get both and both. So where you spend your energy matters. So quit wasting this creative energy. Instead, learn how to transmute it. I will talk about transmutation work in tomorrow's episode or the next episode that comes out. And so, reason number 3, this leads right into the third reason, and that is you will start to feel worthless or these lower type of vibrations and emotions. It's automatic. You are going to feel different. Because you're spending money where you're spending it, you are going to get those results. And because you're getting those results, you are going to start acting different. You are going to start acting inauthentic. You're going to be a lower version of yourself, holding yourself back from getting what you really want to have in life because you don't believe it is possible. And that's the whole of life. If you don't believe something is possible, or you don't feel worthy to have something, whether that's a great relationship, whether that's a good income or a healthy body, etc., whatever it is, you're not going to get it, because your reality is a reflection of your inner beliefs, because your beliefs will affect what you do, and what you do consistently creates your life. And it's just that simple. It's just that simple. So, now that you're aware of lust, hopefully this will help you think whenever it comes time to give into that temptation. Maybe you're lusting, you're getting a sexual urge, you want to look at pornography again and maybe do some masturbation or do something like that. Hopefully it will help you take a second, pause, and break away from that, because breaking away from that is how you break away from the mediocre life. It doesn't matter that everybody else is doing it. It doesn't matter that everyone says it's the cool thing to do or it's the acceptable thing. It's accepted. It's the new norm. It doesn't matter what they say. What matters is actual results, tangible results. You're going to have to experiment in your life. What works and what doesn't. You can't always listen to what everyone else says or what everyone else is doing. You've got to experiment with yourself, find out the truth for yourself, and whatever's producing tangible results, you move forward with that. And you can do that and set yourself free by becoming aware and by choosing things that will expand your consciousness. When you're expanding, that is when you find joy in life. That is when you find meaning and fulfillment in life. And so I hope this episode has been helpful. I hope you want to make some changes in your life. Now remember, this doesn't just deal with sex. This deals with craving for money. And realistically, anything that you give value to, nothing, let me say this, nothing is good or bad. Like, everything just is. Things become good or bad based upon your intention and association with it. So if you think money's bad, that's in your head. Money itself is not good or bad. It just is, right? And it's your association. Why do you want the money? How do you think you can get the money? If you want to get the money and not return a value for it, yeah, you can classify that as bad. But if you want to get some money and give some good value back to receive that money, maybe you classify that's good. And ultimately, that is up to you. That is how you feel, that's how you think, and that's how you will shape your life. And with this new understanding, I hope you make your best relationship. I hope you make those changes to not follow the norm, to not have and live that mediocre life, because you can have the dream you want. You just have to change where you're spending that currency. And if you want some more help on how to actually get out of those addictions, do that transmutation work, the next episode coming out will be all about that transmutation work. We are also releasing a course on overcoming bad habits and addictions. As soon as that's out, I will let you know. And with that, I hope you make your best relationship. I bid you adieu and much love.